you guys were going to depict a 52-chapter Instagram story in a video. You did a great job. So Stuart and Elaine, start by saying thank you very much. Those of you who were in our breakout group stuck in the edit, this was probably the story that I got most stuck in the edit. It was a 52-chapter story that I told on Instagram, which was by far the longest story that I've ever tried to tell on social media. It's against every best practice on social media there is. And I still don't know if it was a smart thing to do because I spent 9 months of my life obsessing over this. It was about an 87-year-old man. He was a dissident in Iran, and he was also a passionate devotee to this 5,000-year-old book called the Shamaneh, which contains all of Persian culture. That was written by a man named Ferdowsi. During the Arab conquest, when the Arabian army came into Iran and they just tried to destroy all the books and destroy the language, this one man put all of history, of Iranian history and Iranian culture into this single book. And I met this 87-year-old man who was an Iranian dissident in Iran, and he was exiled, and he had 10,000 verses of this book memorized. And he was one of the most beautiful men that I was meaning to write a one-chapter story on him. And then I started sitting at his feet and learning about his life. And what was so beautiful about this person is that nobody more lived his principles than that I had ever met than him. And it was very simple. It came from the ancient, or I might butcher saying this, the Iranian religion of Zoroastrianism. And it's based on very simple principles, which is good thoughts, good deeds, and good actions. And this was a man who, whenever he saw injustice, he had to speak about it. He completely devoted his life in Iran to speaking out against the Shah and then eventually against the Islamic Republic. And that's what eventually got kicked out of the country. And so I spent 9 months of my life, and I've been to Iran twice, and I love the country so much, and I just obsessed over this so much. And I tried to tell a 54-chapter story on Instagram, and it was probably the least read story that I've ever posted because it was so long. But it was also probably the best received and most celebrated by the people that actually read it. And so I was really, really touched that you both decided to recognize it. It was something that was very important to me, and so I want to thank you very much for that. And if there's one thing, Bub John was his name, and we shared it on the anniversary of Masa Amini's death because Masa Amini basically lived out his belief, which is no matter how much you're afraid of something, that if there's injustice, you must speak out against it. And the thing that I learned from him the most, and that changed my life the most, is that there's, good thoughts, there's good words, and then there's good deeds. And he says that if you believe something to be true and you're not actually living that truth, then it's not something you truly believe. And that, I think that's something that's in every religion as well. You will know my followers by the fruit. And so, truth is something that you do. And I think we've talked a lot about this weekend. We're all posting, and we each have our little projects and our most recent stories that we're hoping will kind of get traction. And, I think it's really important to always ask ourselves, what are we living for? What is the one thing that we believe that we're here for, that we're supposed to do in the world? And is our actions and the projects we're choosing and the work we're doing in line with that truth? So truth is something you do, and thank you so much to both of you.